Hola bellas, hemos vuelto. We have here the design we worked on last week. This is the short dress that has long sleeves and the boat neck, inspired by Audrey Hepburn. We worked on the sketch last week, so now we're ready to make the mesh. So I'll be walking you through the process, but this is by no means a tutorial. I'm not gonna talk about the step-by-step process. I'm just going to talk about like what I was thinking while doing it, the things that are important, and explain it a bit. We're jumping right onward to Marvelous Design. This is a program that's designed specifically to make clothes in 3D. This is it's quite simple to use. The first time I saw it, I thought I was going to be a mess because there's lots of icons and different tools in the part above, but you actually use like 3 of them. If you're not making something that's very complicated, you use like 3 tools. I use the polygon tool to construct this dress, and as you can see, I'm having the front and back placed in the model. The model I'm using is the official avatar that is used by Maxis, by EA, so that it matches up well with the video game. If you use like any avatar that you like, it won't work the same because it's not what the game needs. That's the sleeve. For those of you that don't know, the sleeves have that rounded piece above so that it can fit the shoulder. But I decided not to sew it up just now because I wanted to see how the dress would behave, and that happened. I hated it. It just slipped. It slipped right down, and it wasn't my intention to do that. I fixed it though. I fixed it, and now I'm just making the armpit go up a little bit up because it was way down and that would not be good for the mesh. I ended up deleting the part, like rounded part in the front because it was not looking like a boat neck. It was looking like a regular rounded neck. So by deleting it, it was much better. Now I'm going to sew on the sleeves. Now that I've got my main body sorted out, I'm just using the segment sewing tool to match up which parts are sewn to each other. It's kind of tricky to figure it out because the back piece is obviously mirrored, so it's not that obvious which part goes where. The sleeve is now attached, but I could see that I made the rounded part too high, so it was puffing up, which is a nice look and styled look, but it's not what I was going for here. I also narrowed it down in the bottom half just to make it have a more fitted look. With that sorted out, we can go ahead and... Oh, I actually did lower it a bit. It seemed like it was choking her. Now we can go ahead with the other sleeve. And as you can see, it copied it like in the 3D form because the other sleeve was already sewn up. That's a really good thing about having this two workspaces, the 3D and the 2D space linked up. You can really make some... Oh, I messed up right there. That was awful. I don't know why I did that. and I thought it would be easier to fix, but no, I sew it on again. As you can see, we are now about finished with the part in Marvelous Design. I decided to make the boat neck a little bit wider, just go up right up to the shoulder and make it more exaggerated. I love the like little wrinkles that form up in the back. I think it gives it, it makes it more real. I feel like if this was so just a plain, it wouldn't feel like a real garment. Now we're starting up in Blender 2.78. What we're doing right now is making this mesh work for the Sims game, because it's very different to use a 3D garment in animation as opposed to the ones that we use for video games, because the ones that work with video games have to work with all the coding. And a very nice thing about Sims 4 is that you can obviously customize your avatar the way you want. Like you can have a very skinny sim or a very built and muscular sim, and all clothes have to work for that. So what we're doing now is just making sure that is the case, and we're adapting the mesh so that it works with the EA coding. And because if I didn't do this process, sometimes it happens with some custom content that if your sim isn't built exactly like this one is, like the same boob shape and the same waist size and what is like the predetermined body type, then the mesh just doesn't move with the body. And yeah, it has happened to me with some custom content that I put it on a sim that is not like this body type, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't move with it, or it disappears. So that is what we're going to do right now. We're just making it fit with everything that has to fit. That's the UV layout done. I didn't explain that multicolor image. That is the image that is used to pile on the different garments your sim is wearing. So that part, it said like this is a dress part, this is the shirt part, this is the pants part, and the earrings and the hats are up above. So the way it works is that the PNGs of the different textures are piled up one on top of each other, and so that it has all the texture of the clothes that the sim is wearing. So we have to make sure that the dress UV is just where it needs to be, because otherwise you're gonna get like the dress texture where the earrings are, or the sleeve texture in a shoe. That's not ideal. That's the multicolored thing again. That is what's used by the team to make all the clothes fit together. Now the weights are transferred and everything is right for us to start using this. So I'm going ahead and deleting the parts of the body that are not going to be visible. This is a little bit scary, I know, but if we were to leave the faces of the body that we are not seen, first of all, it's a lot heavier for the game. You have a lot of polygons and vertices that you're actually not seeing, so it's wasted processing data. And also the body might peek through the clothes, and that would be very weird. That would not be it. Some custom content makers don't like this part. I do like this part, making the caps. I'm sorry. That is like the part that fills up that void, the part in touching there. The reason we do this is because it would be much more realistic to not have those caps, but also what would happen is that if you deleted any vertices on the inside, maybe at some camera angle, or if you zoom in a lot, you could see like the edge of the clothes and then nothing inside, and it would be so creepy. I prefer much more to have these caps, just to make it a little bit more, I don't know, it just makes more sense to me. So that's what I'm finishing up right now. That's it's a very nice thing to have, just to be assured that you're covering all the bases. Some part of me, when I was learning how to do this, saw this first like videos of people making custom content and saw the Blender interface, because I studied art, so, and my specialty, I don't know if that's what it's called, but my strongest part was 3D animation. And so I knew Blender already. I know how to go about Blender, but I never used it for such a technical thing. I use it for animation, not for all of these things that you have to be aware of for the coding of The Sims 4 to work on it. So this process, maybe someday I'll make a tutorial, like a real tutorial, but I'm just not ready for that, and that requires a lot of work. So maybe I'll just prepare more videos, and if I have more time with the videos I've prepared, then I can give more time to making a real tutorial. Right now, what I did was I texture painted. I painted right on the object the shadows that I could see in Blender, because The Sims 4 doesn't manage really shadows and lighting, and the shadows that you see on the clothes are actually drawn on. That's why it looks a little bit more cartoony, but it's a real nice effect and it works perfectly. So I wanted to mimic that also, just to make it more realistic, more like it has more movement and volume. Because if I were to just paste on a color on this, it would be really funky. It wouldn't measure up to the quality of the other Sims 4 Max's clothes. So that would not be acceptable. Right now we're finishing up on Blender. That's it. I made the other levels of detail because if you didn't know, when you zoom out in the game, it changes to a less detailed model. A less detailed mesh, so that it saves up computer processing space, because nobody really needs to be able to see like very detailed garments. If you're just scrolling up and up and up, you're just seeing the general shape of it. So that's a little trick the Sims video game uses to save up processing space, just in adding a little bit of highlight so that I create more volume. And now I'm going through creating the scenes. I love to do this, just selecting it all and then reducing the margin of the clothes to a grayish kind of tone, because then you create the effect of the seams being sewn into the clothes, and that's really nice. It was a little bit dark, so I lightened it up a bit, and so I'm ready to try it on. Seems for studio. I made a mistake. I thought it wouldn't affect my mesh, but it did, because I was like, but the dress texture goes like one level above the skin texture, so if the UVs overlapped, then it wouldn't be a really big problem, because this dress texture would just take over. But I didn't and I was thinking about the skin texture showing up in the dress, right? So yeah, the skin texture didn't show up in the dress, but I didn't think about the dress texture showing up in the skin. So yeah, that was a rookie mistake. I was just overly confident. Oh, we're starting now. We're starting to see the first texture, the first design. I'm gonna go through the categories later off camera, because I mean, I am thinking you have to see that. Oh yeah, it showed up really really fast, but you'll see it later in the photos. That's the Kill Bill jumpsuit one. I love that swatch. I made it in a plain black. Swatch, and it looks so pretty and so elegant. I love the plain. I actually wasn't thinking about that plain black swatch before, but it took me over. I loved it. I put it on Judith Ward to try it out, and it was amazing. Those black and white swatches always, I think the Sims team has been making the real effort to always include a black and white swatch in everything they do, and I think it's a very good habit, because I remember many times just wanting to like put a really ornate shoe on, but I couldn't choose a very out there shoe if the dress was always with such busy patterns. So including a black and white swatch is something I'm always going to do. I went on and created that jersey texture I was talking about with the stripes. It's very subtle, but I think it creates a really nice effect if you want to use this as sleepwear. I actually put this on my like a kawaii style, like a softer pastel style on Mico. I just made this color swatches, like plain color swatches, having it black, dark blue and coral and orange, just so that if you wanted to use that as a base and then add on lots of other accessories, you could. I'm going in now to with the sneakers. These aren't the chunky sneakers I was talking about last video. I was actually talking about those that are like really big. Those ones that are like beyond the ankle. But when I looked at them, like they're very pretty, but they're just too big. It's too much, and they for me they look like almost like short skiing boots. So it would be kind of a stretch for me to put it like on streetwear, streetwear style. I didn't think, I tried it on and I didn't think it was it. And then I saw these sneakers that I totally forgot about, and they're actually like the same vibe, but they're a little bit smaller. They're still like big and have this the part in the front is really raised, and I like that. And it also has this nice pattern, but I realized that this one also doesn't have it has lots of really fun, nice 90s coloring, and it's really pretty, but it just wasn't what it's really hard to put them on, because you can't, if you're using those, then the other things that you use have to be like plain colors. You can't use these and then have other patterns because they were so bright. So you see, now I'm just making the plain black and white swatches. I feel like this kind of sneaker will be so very, very useful to have, because they're quite versatile, and they're big and they can match up with lots of stuff. I'm making the red swatch, which was one that I designed initially. Blue, yellow, and that turquoise color that I love. First I was making it like this, like plain with the lace and all, laces, I think that shoelaces, yeah. But I just thought it was kind of weird, because realistically, if you're making a shoe, it would be really hard to find shoelaces that are the exact same color as the product you're designing. So I thought it would also add some contrast to leave the shoelaces white. I dimmed it down a little bit so that it didn't stand out as much, and then I redid the color swatches and this other brown palette swatches. I think that's really useful, because they could be even used like for a hiking outfit. It doesn't have to be like this scampy modern type. I'm going in now for the official try-on. This is always a nerve-wracking. Ignore the thumbnail, that's a thumbnail of another thing. And there it is. It's the dress. I love how it looks. I love it. I think that it's really subtle. I'm trying on different sizes on this sim, different body types, just to test out if it really is working as it should. And as you can see, it very much fits all sizes. It really does move well with the body, so I'm really happy with that. Next on is the shoes. I didn't have the thumbnail on, but there they are. I think they look so cute. They look so pretty. Those are these other color swatches. And yeah, I'm really happy with the outcome of this. If you can see, like, those shoes are so wearable with so many things. I'm gonna use them all the time because they're really modern, and I feel like they feel very young and playful. So yeah, I'm gonna use, and those brown swatches really work out for like maybe sportswear or hiking wear. Maybe you can wear them hiking if you have snow escape. It would be really nice. This is the ones that have line on the sides. That's really pretty. And those are the plain swatches. We are now in the game, we're testing it out. That's Judith Ward posing for the cameras. You see, the black ensemble looks very, very classy. This is Octavia Moon with the Kill Bill jumpsuit swatch. This is Mico audio. I was talking about like using it as a more as a more cutesy look. That's right. And with the I don't remember what they're called. Is it the Ugg boots? Are those Ugg boots? I don't know. I think it fit the style quite nicely. So yeah, enjoy the dress. If you want to download it, I'm gonna make it available. And let me know what you want to see next. When I design, I name the clothes with a human name, with a person name. So this is the Valena dress. And if you want to name one of the clothes, just comment down below, and I will pick one of the comments to name the next garment. I will see you all very soon with the styling video. I will use this dress to style a sim to make a makeover. So I will see you next week. Bye bye!